Good morning and welcome to Positively Milwaukee. We begin with a story of gratitude. A Racine man and his family escaped bombing in Laos. They now call Wisconsin home, and that makes Alex Hanascata committed to giving back. This is what the American dream often looks like. A family-owned pop-up restaurant called SapSap. Can you tell me what SapSap means?
So SapSap in Laos and Thai language means kind of like delicious, delicious.
SapSap is a popular eatery in Racine. People go to social media to find out when it's open. They line up for the fusion of Thai, Laos, and Southeast Asian food. Devotees call it amazing. Hanascata was born in a Thailand refugee camp. His parents escaped bombing in Laos and they fled to the U.S. They were sponsored by a church in Burlington. Hanascata provides sumptuous meals while raising awareness.
I want to bring attention to what happened in Laos and the soldiers that fought in the American war in our culture.
Watching his parents' hard work left an indelible impression.
As I got older, seeing my parents struggle and always tell me that you can do whatever you want with yourself. You do not want to go back to Laos. Like, you have no idea how good you have it.
Another vivid memory, his late dad, who had PTSD. Hanascata's father fought with U.S. soldiers in the secret war in Laos, but his dad could not get help for his post-traumatic injuries because he was not officially in the U.S. military.
Seeing my dad go through the PTSD he did, not getting the resources he did, that hit really home for me dealing with firsthand. And as I got older, I always wondered why, like, the Laos soldiers that fought with the Americans were never accepted or never considered, patriots for this country, even though they fought alongside them.
His late father never forgot his roots and extended his hand to other refugees.
Everything. He was a community activist. He helped refugees come over here after the war, and he'd shelter them. He'd give them a place to stay.
Hanascata's passion is connecting people through food. PBS's Wisconsin Foodie captured satisfied customers in one of its episodes of SapSap. Hanascata often holds dinners to raise money for veterans.
I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on, those vets and those people that go through PTSD, it's very real. And they need the resources as much as we can get to them.
And he's also known for his meals that come with culinary culture lessons.
Well, that's what brings me the most happiness, is seeing people from all different backgrounds and political spectrums get together and eat really good food and learn about what happened in Laos.
Alex recalls a time when food helped to melt the divide between his dad and a prejudiced neighbor.
Growing up, our neighbor was this really old, he was a Vietnam vet too. And he had his prejudices against something new. He also suffered from PTSD. Now, him and my father became the bestest of friends. And every time I come home from school, they'd be sitting there, and my dad not being able to speak English, they would just sit there for hours and eat and have a few drinks and just communicate through that food. They couldn't really communicate through language, but they were communicating through food and their experiences as old soldiers.
Hanascata knows how hard it was for his parents to adjust to a new life in a foreign country.
Coming over here, quite frankly, and dealing with not speaking English and, adapting to a new country, new culture, but just seeing their hard work, not complaining and just getting work done. And that kind of really inspired me. And
he's glad they instilled the value of hard work and tough love.
They were really strict. But looking back, their strictness really helped me do what I'm doing right now. Because growing up, we were helping my mom and dad prep food. We never got allowances for that kind of stuff. So nothing was ever handed to us growing up.
So as Alex satisfies hungry patrons with his cooking skills, he reminds us all that stories of neglected heroes in American history deserve to be on our collective menu.
I want to bring attention to what happened in Laos and the soldiers that fought in the American war in our culture. And that's the beauty of America, I think, is sharing your food, sharing your culture, and this being such a melting pot.
That is absolutely true. And SapSap puts its dates of operation on its Facebook page. And I've talked to people who travel from Milwaukee to Racine just to eat their delicious food.